All right. Hello, everybody. And good morning if it's morning to you, afternoon if it's afternoon, and evening if it is evening and night. You are tuning in to Ask Doc Live. So happy to have all of you joining us here. We are filling up the house already. Love seeing new names and uh, familiar names from around the world. That is awesome. I love that. Doc, a lot of people want to hear what you have to say. That's pretty
Wow.
exciting. So everybody, you are tuning into Ask Doc Live. My name is Becca Dukes Kozak, and it is my privilege and honor to be able to come to you and bring to you this amazing, empowering information each and every week as we are here every Friday, same day of the week, same time, same station, to make sure that you have the information that you can use for yourself, for your family, for your community, in doing your part to create healthier and healthier communities. So with that, I am so excited with the information that's going to be coming today, because I've had some questions come in this week in regards to this. I've been sent videos that, hey, what can you do about this? Or is there anything that we can offer to help people with this? And it seems to be more and more of a concern. And folks, it's simple. But before we get into that, I do have to cover a couple things here. Now, if you are on live with us today, make sure that you have that chat function on, because our amazing co-hosts, Ruth Ellen Sanchez and Dr. Judy and John T. McCollier, they will be putting information in that chat that will help you find more information about what is being spoken of today. Also resources to help support the information that is going to be or has been shared. The content of this program is to provide educational information only on the importance of nutrition and supplementation. Folks, the food supplies around the world are empty and void of what the body really needs. Yes, they're going to give us some substance so that we can, quote unquote, survive. And in many cases, that survival is not very good. But what we're sharing with you today is to help you thrive. And in this program, we are going to be sharing about information that we have found that actually works in filling those gaps. And it is through supplementation in a form that the body can actually absorb and utilize deep within the cells. Because, you know, as living beings, our bodies are continually making new cells. Well, if it doesn't have those raw ingredients to make strong cells, it's not going to make strong cells. It's common sense, folks. We give the body raw ingredients that it needs to create those new cells. Things are going to go up instead of continue to decline. Now, the statements that are made within this program have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and the products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information, again, is for informational and educational purposes only. And if you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medications, please consult your health care professional before starting on any supplementation program. We're coming from kind of a unique position on this, because the doctor that we have that joins us each and every Friday has been very instrumental with victories in suing the FDA, making it possible for us to be able to bring this information to you on the vital importance of nutrients. And through his work, not only has it made it possible for us to share that information. But it's proven by science to be factual that there are essential things that our body needs to help our bodies fight against or prevent. We're not supposed to prevent. Sorry, Jaunty. Bad things from happening. How's that? So we bring you good news because this doctor is also one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics that has proven the genetic theory to be false and incorrect. Now, folks, we and what we do within our environments and within our bodies help determine how our genes are expressed. And through this science, he has proven that all these different things that they blame on being genetic are really not genetic. And that's something we're going to be talking about this morning as well, in being able to create healthier babies, healthier families from day one. Now, Dr. Wallach, I just want to thank you for joining us, because I don't know many people that have done as much as you have done in your 83 years and still show up. You don't have to show up, but you do, because you have the heart that you have to help people. Folks, I am honored to be able to present to you Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome, Dr. Wallach.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for you and your team. Appreciate all the kind words. And of course, I've been doing this so long, I would feel like I hadn't woken up or something. I have to get this information out because it's good for humanity. There's so many basic things we need to know that are not really taught properly anywhere. So we have to make sure that it's available to people. We're going to talk about two things today. One you already mentioned is birth defects and infertility. But before we go there, I want to talk about, one of my favorite subjects is muscular dystrophy. And muscular dystrophy, of course, as the name implies, is a wasting of muscles. And it was thought to be, and still, according to the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation Association, to be a genetically transmitted disease. And it's one of those things where in livestock and cattle and sheep, it's called white muscle disease. You can ask any sixth grade farm kid who deals with livestock and is in the 4-H and ask them, hey, what causes white muscle disease? And say, oh, it says selenium deficiency. Those kids know that because if they give these animals these nutrients, they don't get these diseases, okay? In humanity, doctors say, oh, don't waste your money on vitamins, minerals, just eat well, you get everything you need. Well, nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And some places have a lot of it. Some places have a modest amount. Some places have a little bit, and some places have none. And so the only way you can guarantee you're going to get them all in optimal amounts is to take them every day, kind of put them in your mouth, okay? Again, I want to specifically talk about muscular dystrophy. And I'm going to kind of jump into the middle of this. And after graduating naturopathic school, in 1982, I would see, lots of kids with all kinds of problems, including muscular dystrophy. Saw some through school. And you have to appreciate that I already knew, being a veterinarian first, that white muscle disease was preventable and reversible with supplementation of mineral supplements, including selenium. And, it's fascinating that Jerry Lewis and the telethon and so forth. And so one of my areas, and I was working in just about every state in the United States, either personally, we didn't have a lot of emails and stuff back then. I didn't, at least. And so I was doing emails and not doing emails, doing actual online. I was on the road 300 days a year putting on meetings. Okay. I dealt a lot with the Amish community in Adams County, Indiana, because they had a very high rate of muscular dystrophy. And we were, helping them give supplement programs to their kids. And we had about a dozen kids that were examined by doctors, and the doctors ruled that they did not have muscular dystrophy anymore. And some had biopsies and some just were just symptom free. And we put all this together, and we which they say, sent copies of this stuff to Jerry Lewis's media and movie office in Las Vegas, to his secretary, Violet. Okay, and she shared it with him, and he got excited about it. And we worked together on kids with muscular dystrophy as a result. And in 2011, remember, Jerry Lewis had been, and by 2011, Jerry Lewis had been doing the telethon for 50 years. He had raised 2.5 billion, not 25 million, but $2.5 billion over 50 years. And when it came to somebody who was really, really up to their eyeballs in helping some particular, which they say, a group, Jerry Lewis was the epitome. He was the classic guy who did it correctly, okay? And so basically, we were working together, and by Friday, August 2011, is one of the Fridays. I apologize, I'm getting all the details, and probably next week we'll have more details. We had a presentation to give Jerry Lewis, and we had sent it to his secretary in Las Vegas, Violet, and went through about a dozen of these kids who had come to us with muscular dystrophy with their families. They didn't have muscular dystrophy anymore. The doctors, either by physical examination or biopsy, said they didn't have muscular dystrophy anymore. We sent all that stuff to Jerry Lewis, and he was very excited because it was time for the annual Muscular Dystrophy Association event. And so Friday he goes to speak to the board of directors before the meeting, which was on Saturday, okay? And it was the week of, let's see here, all kinds of holidays and things. And so at any rate, he looked at all this stuff, and he began to talk to people, and he saw where we had really, really, really reversed muscular dystrophy in dozens and dozens of kids in Adams County, Indiana alone, okay? And so he took that data, and he very cheerfully took it, and he was going to make it a big announcement on the next morning on Saturday to the world, his 50th anniversary of doing the telethon, okay, for the muscular dystrophy telethon, okay? And then he went there on that Friday, and he gave the information. I'm sure they said, okay, we got to go discuss this. They came back and they terminated it. I mean, they just ended it right there. Said, sorry, nothing you can say about it. Just don't say anything. You're gone. Goodbye. And the next morning, they just, had a notice on the wall, on the little thing that they put up messages and stuff saying, sorry, no meeting today. Bye. And it was just all over. And it went crazy. Okay. And I'm shocked. Jerry's shocked, okay? And so it's really, really a mess. Now, I have to tell you, this is something that nobody else would have done such a thing. They may have said, okay, Jerry, let's be real tender here. Let's say, what's been found here, and we're gonna have to do a lot more research to validate it and all this, that, and the other. But instead, they just terminated him, okay? Because they probably couldn't believe he was so excited that he could just, keep it low key. So to make that story short, it was a real mess, okay? And that was in 2011. And I actually, one of the things I had done was go with Dr. Milan to China and Keishan, okay? And we did 1,700 autopsies of kids. And many of them had died of a selenium deficiency, which is very, very common there in Keishan province. And they had, cystic fibrosis, they had muscular dystrophy, and they had sudden death syndrome. The sudden death syndrome, the doctors said that mothers laid on their babies and suffocated them to death. That's why they died from sudden death syndrome. Okay. Well, in the meantime, my attorney, Jonathan Emord, he and I are petitioning and suing. And we finally got some trace minerals, including selenium, put into baby formulas like Infamil and Similac. And within 90 days after doing that, suddenly now, cystic fibrosis disappeared. Muscular dystrophy disappeared, and symptom of death syndrome dropped by 95 to 98%, by 98%, okay? Because we put the missing nutrients into the baby formulas by actual law, because they wouldn't, they wouldn't do it because the doctors were saying these are poison and blah, 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 blah. And so that's exactly the kind of the scenario there. And I'll have more details on dates and who all was involved and everything in a week or so. Very excited about that. And it's one of those things where we have found a book, okay? It's called the Wallach Revolution, okay? It's online. It's not a hardbound book, but we're going to work on getting it hardbound, as well as putting in this new information, which was missing, okay? So we're going to put this new information in there, and it's going to be crazy because we go into 70 years of my research work, okay, and how we help families with all kinds of problems just by giving supplements, okay? So very, very excited about that. All right, so we'll have a lot more details later, but it gives you a clue that they fired Jerry Lewis after he had raised $2.5 billion for them. He had worked for them for 50 years, unfailing, day and night, raising all kinds of awareness. So anytime they put on some kind of event, they all would go there because they were hoping to see Jerry Lewis, right? And then they fired him. I mean, summarily, they didn't even have to say, okay, we have to have a meeting or something. No, they just terminated him right there and shut down the telethon after 50 years and $2.5 billion. So anyway, the rest of the story is coming out soon. We're very excited about that. And it's one of the things that it makes me feel good. We're going to finish Jerry Lewis's story in a positive way because of all the great things that he did for kids, including muscular dystrophy. And so that's going to be the last couple of chapters of this book. Okay, we're going to enter that information in there. So it'll be the last couple of chapters. What a great ending. Okay, the Jerry Lewis's dreams will come true of eliminating many, many, many birth defects, including muscular dystrophy. So very proud of this. And I think Jerry Lewis would be very proud of this too. And so with that said, let's see here. Do you want me to go ahead and start out with our next piece here?
Yeah, Dr. Wallach, let's talk about infertility.
Okay.
I mean, I have gone through and I have heard stories of having to do things so strictly and having to take these shots and the hormonal changes and mood changes and pain in having to have the sperm and the egg inserted in vitro. It's a complicated mess, Dr. Wallach, that some women go through just trying to have a baby.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right.
Share with us what we can do naturally.
Okay, well, you have to appreciate, think about all the animals on Earth, okay, and they don't seem to have many problems because, of course, they live in places which support them, okay? You don't have elephants living in every county in the United States. You don't have wombats living in every county in the United States. They're in zoos, so we can give them the nutrients they need. It's one of those things where animals kind of develop in places where they have what they need to be fertile and to have successful rearing of babies and so on, okay? And that's why you have them kind of scattered around the world in different populations and colonies and breeds and so forth. When you start talking about agriculture, agriculture is pretty similar no matter what part of the world you go to. And so we learned a lot because of the needs of the domestic animals, cattle and sheep and pigs and chickens and turkeys and ducks and camels and so forth, all require the same nutrition. So that was all very important to have healthy babies. Well, infertility is almost always due to lack of nutrition, okay? And we need 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids in optimal amounts. And you have to have this both in the male for the healthy sperm and in the female, a healthy egg. And so when the sperm meets the egg, everything has to be perfect to get a perfect baby. Now, On the other hand, you can actually get a fertile egg from a sperm. And if the mother is missing some of these nutrients, the baby will be born with a cleft palate, spina bifida, Down syndrome. We're talking about cerebral palsy, things like that, missing limbs, missing fingers, one eye, cycloptics, one eye in the middle of the forehead. All these really weird things happen because of nutritional deficiencies. Yet fertility took place, not optimal fertility, but fertility took place. So that's why there's actually a baby developing, but not perfectly, because they were missing things that were required for perfect development. Okay. And farmers kind of knew this. And so they would make available to these animals complete mineral supplements and complete vitamin supplements. And the ones who did that had very high rate of success of having very successful births. Same thing is true with humans. If you want perfect sperm, the guy has got to be eating everything perfectly and avoiding all the bad stuff. You want perfect eggs, the lady's got to be eating everything perfectly and avoiding all the bad stuff. So she has perfect eggs. And people need to be taken consciously, proactively taking these things for at least 6 months before pregnancy, before fertilization takes place. You can't start taking the prenatal vitamins after you've missed 2 cycles. That's not going to work. You're going to have problems, okay? And so this is a big problem we have in school. They teach health class, when kids are, even before they go through cycles and stuff and going through puberty, but they really don't get down to the hard details of what nutrients they need to be taking to perfect a healthy pregnancy. And so that's why we have so many problems, okay? And newborn babies and babies that are 6 months old, babies that are a year old, and babies that are 2 years old, and so forth. And so that's why we have all these books. Epigenetics, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Let's Play Doctor. Let's see here. Another good one I like is Immortality. These are things we collected for 5 years from communities that have long lives and healthy people. Hell's Kitchen. We went from wood and coal as fuel. We're putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into our gardens for mineral supplements, and putting wood ashes and coal ashes in our food for mineral supplements. And then we went to electricity, and there was no more wood ashes, no more coal ashes. And doctors said, oh, don't waste your money on vitamins and minerals. That's why you're obese, is because you're doing all that stuff. Just eat well, okay? Just eat more whole grains. Stay away from fat. And people started really getting big problems, because when you eat whole grains, you're getting gluten. And what little nutrient there is in food, if you're eating gluten, you can't absorb it, because gluten damages the lining of the intestines. So instead of your small intestine looking like a shag rug with all those villi, increasing the surface area for absorption, gluten kills the villi, and your intestines look like a plastic tube. And so you don't have much surface area to absorb nutrition, even if you're supplementing. So those are things that you have to take into play if you want a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby, okay? You have to be taking the 90, and you have to do it for at least 6 months before the pregnancy occurs. And you have to avoid all the bad stuff to maximize absorption, okay? You cannot be eating gluten and drinking beer made with wheat. The man has got to be just as important here as the woman, okay? The sperm's got to be healthy, the egg's got to be healthy. That way you get a healthy zygote, okay? And then the mama at that point has to really be taking the nutrients to make sure as this baby develops, it has all the nutrients to do that. And I appreciate when a baby's born, they're 9 to 10 months old. And 2 months after they're born, they're already a year old. And if they're not getting all the nutrients they need to develop from those 2 cells, the egg and the sperm, and they're missing these nutrients, they're going to have a mess by the time the kid's born. Okay, and that's the basic root part of the story here. So that's why we have the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. It has 215 nutrients, including the basic 90. Okay, and so I urge everybody to get their kids while they're in junior high school to be taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. And that way, if pregnancy occurs anywhere along the line, and now with all these problems with abortions and stuff like that, even if you have an embryo with a terrible birth defect, many states won't allow you to have an abortion. And so you have to go to another state if they will allow you to come there, okay, if you have some catastrophic birth defect. But you can prevent these catastrophic birth defects because none of them are genetic, none of them are autoimmune. They're all nutritional deficiencies, okay? And they're all preventable. And so this is where we really, really have to jump on this from the standpoint of taking all the nutrients, even though you don't plan on having a pregnancy. You know, many pregnancies, I don't know what the percentage is, but many pregnancies are not planned, okay? Oh gosh, I didn't plan on getting pregnant. Then I missed 2 cycles and I realized I was pregnant and my doctor gave me some prenatal vitamins. Well, what about the 2 months before you got the prenatal vitamins? That embryos are developing in a time when it didn't have much nutrition, and the odds are there's going to be problems, okay? A lot of times, you know, they don't have a cleft palate, they don't have Down syndrome, but they have a gender issue. They don't know if they're a boy or girl, regardless of their biological birth gender. In their mind, in their brain, they don't know which they are because pieces were missing during development of the embryo. Okay, it's not a choice thing. They're driven to go a particular way, okay, based on what's going on in their brain. And so we have all kinds of programs for these things, but it's a mess that you don't have to deal with if everybody's getting the 90 essential nutrients the same way from all the bad stuff to maximize absorption. That's where you want to be, okay? And that will make sure that you're getting everything you need to have a great pregnancy, a great baby, whether it's a boy or girl. And you know, you don't want a 5 or 6 year old saying, "Mommy, I want to be a boy," but they have, you know, their biological gender is a girl, and they think they're a boy, or their biological gender is they are a boy, but they want to be a girl. Okay, this is because mom was missing something many, many months or years before the development of these embryos. And so this is all preventable. But right now we have a mess because nobody paid attention to those details. And so again, we have 5,000 products. We deal with over 600 different diseases. Epigenetics was mentioned. That book is great. Let's see here, Immortality. We spent 5 years studying the long-lived, healthiest cultures on Earth, what it is they consciously avoid, what it is they consciously, proactively do. And so Immortality is a great book. Hell's Kitchen, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, Passport Aromatherapy. Don't forget, It's All in Your Head, the book and the CD. And we have The Truth About Nutrition, which is a book, the CD, and the DVD. Oh my gosh. The things that you can do to make a perfect pregnancy, the things that we can do to make a perfect embryo, okay? But you have to be involved. You have to be proactive. You can't assume that the doctor knows anything about this kind of stuff because they don't get taught these things in medical school. And that's the sad thing. It's almost criminal, okay? I think probably it's criminal, okay, because they're making you feel like you're getting the maximum amount of information available, but you're not, okay? And so there may be some criminal elements involved here, maybe unwittingly criminal, okay? Not purposeful, I'm sure, but it's one of those things where we need more information getting to people, more people need to be involved, more people need to be proactive in their nutrition. And well, I don't plan on having a baby. Well, that's what most people say when they have a baby. We didn't plan on this pregnancy, okay? Well, that's why you have a spare tire, okay? That's why you check the air in your tires when you get gasoline. That's why you check your oil levels in your car when you get gasoline and so forth. You got to do the same thing for yourself, okay? We have the hair analysis, which will tell you about mineral deficiencies. Okay, you can get the book Rare Earths and Cures, Rare Earths and Cures, and chapter 10 and 11, page 272, will tell you how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there because the lab won't run the test. And it'll tell you which of the nutritional minerals you have optimal amounts of, which ones are low, which ones are high. It'll also, in the second chart, tell you what toxic minerals you have, like lead, mercury, and uranium, other toxic minerals. Really extremely useful information for your own health, but certainly for any possibility of a baby, okay? You really want to know all that information so the baby's perfect. Because if something's missing, the whole family suffers when there's a baby born with some terrible birth defect. All right. With that said, I want to turn this back over, okay, to Rebecca and see if there's anything specific you want me to talk about when it comes to infertility.
No, I think you covered quite a bit, Dr. Wallach. So going back to having to give your body what it needs to generate the cells. And I mean, we're made up of cells. Cells in our fingertips, in our fingernails, in our brain. They all require nutrition in
And
our
our livers
ovaries,
and
in our
kidneys. Yeah.
sperm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single function, every single body part, every fluid is linked to the cells. And we actually have the ability to choose how healthy our cells are going to be based on what we put in our mouth, based on what we have in our environment, which is where Dr. Wallach, the company that you started, has done very well in bringing in other companies that help support a low toxic lifestyle and more natural and things that are not going to be harmful to the body, even our skincare. There's so many chemicals in skincare, Dr. Wallach.
Well, yeah, the ones that are produced by corporations, around the world, there's a lot of chemicals in there. And so everything we do, we spend a lot of time making sure there's nothing bad in there that's going to do something bad. Okay. And it's amazing. We do things that, one of my favorite products is hair, skin, and nails. People think white, gray, and silver hair is due to aging. No, it's due to nutritional deficiency. And the same nutritional deficiency that causes white, gray, and silver hair also causes aneurysms in arteries, causes breakdown of connective tissue and ligaments and tendons and even the valves in your heart and so forth. You need that nutrient. And when you start taking it on the outside, your hair color starts coming back. We have people, had white hair when they're 12 years old, and they came to us and they're in their 20s, and just within a couple of weeks, their hair color starts coming back. And in a couple of months, their hair color is what it should have been when they were 12. Okay, it comes back in like it's supposed to be, black or brown or blonde or red or whatever it was supposed to be. It comes in that color. Even after 20, 30 years of not being that color, you give the body what it needs, it'll come back to where it's supposed to be. And so, and then you know that you're healing on the inside because you got that nutrition in sufficient amounts by taking it orally, that it went to your arteries, went to your heart's valves, went to your skin, went to all kinds of stuff in your hair, and everything became normal again. The body has an amazing capacity to recover. Okay, we just don't want any birth defects because many of them you can't recover from without major surgery or drugs or something like that. And in some cases, you just have to live with that birth defect.
Well, Dr. Wallach, the one thing that I love about nutrition and the nutrition as we present it is it doesn't matter what age. When you give the body what it needs, it then has the ability to perform and be the best that it can be, whatever stage that's at. So where we don't reverse all these different things and we can't take back birth defects, we can support the body to be as strong as it possibly can.
Absolutely.
So, and I love that. I love that. I mean, there's things that I would love to be able to change, but can I take my scoliosis away?
I
Not
think we can.
completely. I've been working at it and it's getting better.
Well,
But
I want to stop there for a minute. I want you to think about cystic fibrosis. They thought that was a genetic defect. Okay, and once we got Jonathan Emord and I got the nutrient, including selenium, put into baby formulas, the rate of new cases of cystic fibrosis went to zero. Muscular dystrophy, the cases of muscular dystrophy went to zero. Sudden death syndrome, the cases dropped by 95%, 98%, because there's still people who are just doing everything wrong no matter what you do, right? But to reduce a birth defect by 98% just by putting some nutrients into a baby formula, okay? I mean, that's crazy. That just shows you where the problem was, okay? And so those three, you don't hear about those three things anymore because that one nutrient deficiency was causing them. Jonathan Emord and I, we petitioned and sued for many, many years. And we finally got the FDA hit by the courts, federal courts, okay, NIH and FDA to put these nutrients into baby formulas. And then there's not much that the pediatricians could say because it was already in the baby formulas by law. Okay, and so that's when all these defects went away. And just think about it. Doctors were saying that babies were dying from sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, because the mothers were laying on them and suffocating them because they didn't want to say they didn't know. So they blamed it on the mothers. And the mothers were committing suicide by the hundreds every year because they're getting disowned by their churches, by their families, by their neighbors, by their workmates. Oh, you laid on the baby and suffocated them, so you're out of the church, okay? You're out of the family. But that wasn't what was happening, okay? But there was no way that this individual lady could defend herself against all those doctors, okay?
Well,
And so
Dr.
there was,
Wallach,
yes,
it just goes to prove how something so simple can be so impactful.
yes,
Folks, that's something we can do in our very own lives. We are empowered to make dietary changes that can impact not only our lives, but the lives of our children, our grandchildren, and everybody around us.
absolutely. And it's an enormous savings, both in human misery, it's a savings in money, and you can add 25 to 50 healthy years of people's lives just by avoiding the bad stuff and doing the good stuff. So is it not worth it to go that direction? They had 25 to 50 healthy years, so you can spend 25 to 50 more years with the people you love, spend 25 to 50 more years doing the things you love to do instead of dying 50 years early. I mean, that's your choice.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Dr. Wallach, we have a question in regards to PCOS. Ruth Ellen, would you like to come on and ask that question?
I don't have any information about the person who has this, but one of my distributors sent me this message saying, I would like to ask Doc about PCOS and what cures it. I know we're not supposed to use that word.
Well, tell me what, no, it's an abbreviation. Tell me what the PCOS stands for.
Pelvic cystic ovarian syndrome, I believe. Let me look it up real quick. Sorry, I should have had this information prior. PCOS. Polycystic ovary syndrome.
Okay, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. All right. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is a deficiency of nutrients required by the ovary to produce hormones, okay? And of course, this requires several things. You need the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 minutes, and 3 fatty acids. Also, you need to stay away from all the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, so you can absorb these nutrients. And then you're on your way to the right direction, okay? And just taking a drug, and we do have stuff, we do have for women, polycystic ovary syndrome, we do have the, let's see here, we have Xerafem, XERA-FEM, a woman who's in her middle ages, say 20s to 40s, and has PCOS. They could, in addition to staying away from the bad stuff, they need to take 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolk so they can get the cholesterol. And cholesterol makes up 95% of the weight of female and male hormones, okay, amongst other things. And then they also need the 90 essential nutrients so that the ovary can do that. And so that's why they need the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And then they need the Xerafem to tell the ovaries to make estrogen and progesterone. Okay. And that way they'll have all the nutrition they need for the ovaries to do their job, so they can create and help create a pregnancy and also maintain a healthy cycle and all that kind of stuff. But it's, you know, it's more than, you know, just taking a pill. You have to do a whole nutrition thing. You have to, you know, with the eggs, because you need that cholesterol, you need the Zerofem, you need the 90 essential nutrients, you need to stay away from the bad stuff. And this is because we don't have wood anymore for fuel. And so our source of nutrients is we have to consciously, proactively put them in our mouth. Same thing with men. Men, okay, when they have problems of that nature, they get to where they can't have an erection, they can't produce sperm. They need the 3 eggs in their food. They need to stay away from all the bad stuff, including gluten. They need to eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, because testosterone is 95% by weight cholesterol. And then they zero test, 3 of those twice a day, okay? And they will be fine. But it takes a lot of work in all these different directions here to get the raw materials to make everything perfect for the female and everything perfect for the male. It's doable, and you don't need to have a prescription from your doctor to do all this, okay? Because the doctor knows nothing about these things.
All right.
you
Thank
very
you so
much,
much,
Dr.
Dr. Wallach. Oh, sorry, Ruth Ellen.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Dr. Wallach.
You bet.
All right. Well, everybody, we want to thank you so much for joining us here on Ask Doc Live. For those of you who are guests and were invited by somebody specific to check out this program, make sure that you get back with that person. They took the time to share this program with you because they care. So care enough to get back with them and tell them thank you. For those who have never spoken to anybody about Dr. Wallach or any of the longevity products, we do have a store at AskDocLive.com with the products that Dr. Wallach will be speaking of. If you would like to have a consultation with either a certified holistic health coach or Dr. Wallach, you can use that contact us option on AskDocLive.com. And one of us will get back with you and get answers to your questions. So we are so excited, Dr. Wallach, to be able to share this information, because there's a lot of information that has been kind of birthed. Well, no, you set the seed, you planted the field. And now there's more and more doctors that are starting to try to reap those benefits in the information that you have put together. So I'm really excited about the projects that we have coming up that is just gonna saturate the market with the truth. And I'm excited to be part of that too. So, and all of you, part of watching us here on Ask Doc Live and sharing this program helps to get this information out to others. Now, if you are here live with us and you would like to ask a question of Dr. Wallach, raise that virtual hand. Go to the Zoom menu, look for reactions and click on raise hand. And that will put you in our little queue to be able to have your questions answered in the order that your hand was raised. So Dr. Wallach, let's go to the first hand that was raised in today's program. And Francis, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Hello, how can we help you?
Hi there, Dr. Newton, Dr. Wallach. I've been diagnosed with hydrodentis suppurativa. I'm a male, 76.
Please stop. Okay, that sounds like Latin to me. What is that? What is your disease?
I just said it was.
I don't know those Latin words.
Oh, I don't know Latin. I just know what the doctor diagnosed.
Okay, stop. What's your symptoms?
little lumps in the scrotum,
I'm sorry, what in the scrotum?
lumps,
Okay,
not testicular.
okay. Are they hard or are they full of fluid?
They're, apparently, they're full of fluid according to the urologist.
Okay. And are they inside or are they on the outside skin?
They're on the inside skin.
Okay. Okay, how much do you weigh and how old are you?
I'm 76. I weigh 235. I'm 6'2".
Okay. All right. Okay, well, here we go. Any other issues, any high blood pressure, diabetes?
Yes, I have an A1C of below 70, diagnosed by the doctor as type 2.
Okay. Anything else? You have any ringing in your ears or balance problems?
No ringing in the ears, no balance problems.
Okay. How many times a night do you wake up to go urinate?
Maybe once.
Okay. All right. For sure. Okay. You have some stuff going on here we can help. So I want you to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods. I mean, we're talking about no air frying, no deep frying, no pan frying, no fried foods, no processed meats of any kind, no ham, no bacon, no bologna, salami, pastrami, hot dogs, none of that kind of stuff. Absolutely no oils, no cooking oils, no salad dressings. Absolutely no gluten, no wheat, no butter, rye oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still gluten. And then let's see here. No carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go because carbonation neutralizes your stomach acid, which makes it impossible for you to absorb minerals and digest food. Okay. And so those are the bad things. Now, the good things at 235 pounds, I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose of everything twice a day. It's 215 nutrients in each pack. Okay, take a full dose twice a day. Then I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That's 2 bottles a month, and they will support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. I need you to take 1 scoop of our collagen peptides in your morning drink, 1 scoop of your collagen peptides in your evening drink. That's also going to help you with your bone marrow and that sort of stuff and your hormones. Then I want you to take 2 bottles a month of our Zera test. Zera test. Take 3 of those twice a day.
Zero
And
test.
Zera, not zero.
Okay.
XERA test, TEST, Zera test. Okay. Take 3 twice a day, 2 bottles a month. That's going to give the Sertoli cells in your testicles the raw materials they need to make more testosterone. Okay. Then let's see here. I need you to also eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. I want you to get that cholesterol so you can make testosterone. Testosterone is 95% by weight cholesterol. Do not take statin drugs. Are you taking statin drugs to lower cholesterol?
No.
Good. Do not take statin drugs. I want you to eat butter, not margarine. I want you to eat those 3 eggs with soft yolk, soft boiled, soft yolk, soft poached, soft yolk, soft scrambled butter. That's how I have mine at breakfast and dinner. Okay. And that's going to help you make testosterone, and that will resolve this scrotal problem. Okay.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah. Call
I'll
us every
take
2.
your direction.
Okay. Yeah. Call us every 2 weeks, and you're going to have a great story. Okay.
Okay. Every 2 weeks. You got it.
Yeah. Okay. God bless, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Francis, for coming on. Next, Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up, and Tony. Tony, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, Tony. Are you there?
You
Hello,
are
I'm
on
here,
live with
Doctor.
Dr. Wallach.
Hello.
How can we help you,
Yeah.
sir?
I'm 40 years old, 5'2", and I was diagnosed with AFib, atrial fibrillation.
Mm-hmm.
So far they had me on amiodarone and statin for the cholesterol.
Okay. How much? You didn't tell me how much you weighed. How much do you weigh?
Right now I'm 205. I lost weight. I was weighing 244 in May, and today I'm weighing 205.
Okay. Any other issues? Any high blood pressure, diabetes?
No,
Okay. Do you have any ringing in your ears? Any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
no,
Okay. Any balance problems or dizziness?
no.
Okay, good. How long, excuse me, how many times do you wake up at night to go urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times?
Um, this past week has probably been actually none this week. Prior to that, maybe about once.
Okay. Any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
No,
Did you have your appendix out when you were a kid?
no.
Okay. Well, AFib, what did they suggest that they were going to do for you for AFib? What treatment procedures were they going to recommend?
They told me to I should go on like a low carb diet and lose some weight, and then that's pretty much it. Take these meds that they gave me.
Mhm.
Ever since I've been doing certain things, they took me off the amiodarone and the statin because when they gave me the lipid test, all my numbers had decreased like triple. My cholesterol went down to like 80 something, and it was at 240. A lot of stuff, all my numbers had tripled and going down.
Mhm.
So that's why.
Okay, yeah, well, your cholesterol, you want it about 250 to 300 where you want it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. You do not want your cholesterol to be 80 because you're going to be in trouble. Okay. If you
Right.
do that. Okay. So
Okay.
then what I want you to do is get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then at 205 pounds, I want you to have 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolk, soft boiled soft yolk, soft poached soft yolk, soft scrambled butter. Okay. Take 3 twice a day because you need that cholesterol. Okay. And then AFib is actually osteoporosis of the skull. Did you ever have Bell's palsy or one side of your face droops?
No.
Okay, good. All right. But when you have AFib, that's almost always osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, which controls the rate and rhythm of the heart. And they oftentimes say, we're going to give you an ablation. Did they ever talk to you about the possibility of an ablation?
What is that? When they shock you to get your heart back?
When they anesthetize, you take your heart out, and then they take hot branding irons and put them on your heart, hoping to get the heart to go back to a normal beat. But it's one of the most deadly treatments that medicine has. They kill more people, percentage-wise, from ablation than any other treatment. So don't submit to that.
Oh yeah, they talked about doing that, and then I was like, no.
Good for you.
They was going to put me in a sleep and then shock me or something. I was like, no, just give me the meds and I'll figure this out. I'll try to lose weight and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Now, due to osteoporosis of the skull. So here's what I want you to do at 205 pounds. I want you to get a hold of the book and the CD called It's All in Your Head. The book goes into osteoporosis of the skull and all the manifestations of it, including AFib. Okay. The formula is in that book. But for you right now, just off the top of my head, you need to get rid of all the bad stuff, as we've mentioned. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. And then 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose of everything twice a day, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. You need 2 bottles a month of the, let's see here, of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. You need 1 canister of the collagen peptides. So you can take a scoop of that with your morning drink, take a scoop with your evening drink. I want you to take our, let's see here. You need the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day, and they will support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, every place you might have blocked arteries, the lungs and so forth, skin. And then I also want you to take vitamin D3. Take 3 of those twice a day. And then for energy, you can use our Rebound. Our canister has 36 servings in it, no carbonation. Our box of sticks has 30 sticks in it, no carbonation. The cans have 12 cans per case. but they do have carbonation in them. So if you're going to use the cans of Rebound, it has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals, and 25 vitamins, amino acids. I have 1 or 2 of those a day, but I want you to pop the tops on 2 of them every night before you go to bed. Put them in the refrigerator so they off-gas the carbonation, so they're flat in the morning by the time you want to drink one of them and drink the other one in the midday. Okay, so you'll get the energy, you'll get the nutrients that are in there, but you won't get the carbonation because you pop the tops on them at night before. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then give us a call every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story. Please do not submit to ablation because, as I say, it's a killer treatment.
Okay.
And you can look up ablation. Ask Siri, what is ablation? Is it safe? And it'll blow your mind what they tell you about ablation. Okay, but doctors love it.
Can I have one? The metropolol that they got me on, is that because I know I go back in September for a follow-up visit. And I think he's going to take me off that. Like,
Okay,
what
well,
does
he,
that
he, okay, he gave you that to help manage the rate and rhythm of the heart.
Okay.
Okay, and so as you get on our program and things begin to kind of feel better here, you might reduce your medication by 10% or 25% and see how that goes for a couple of weeks. Okay, before you make a decision with don't cold turkey off of it. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. We look forward to
Yes.
hearing from you every couple of weeks. You're gonna have a great story.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you, sir.
All right. You too.
Okay, Tony.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Now, Dr. Wallach, Tammy has a question. She says, I know soft eggs are ideal, but is there another way to get the cholesterol needed
Oh, other than eggs?
other than eggs? So butter?
Yeah, you get a small amount in butter, you get a small amount in milk, you get a small amount in meat if you eat the fat.
How about salmon?
You'll get a little bit of cholesterol in as long as you're eating, what should I say, wild caught salmon.
Yeah, so
Farm raised salmon. You don't know what they're feeding them.
you want them to be just as close to nature as possible
Right.
when it comes to anything that we choose to put
I
down.
would still not give up. If you're going to eat salmon as a source of cholesterol, I would still have 1 or 2 eggs twice a day.
All right. And I know, Dr. Wallach, there's a couple other things that are mentioned on a list that I utilize of the top foods to increase the good cholesterol. And that includes things like mackerel and sardines and tuna and herring and avocados and cacao and specific nuts like walnuts. So there's a lot of foods that don't provide so much the quantity or maybe the quality of cholesterol that eggs do, but there are some other options as well.
Yeah, and of course, you have to appreciate that cholesterol makes up 25% of your brain weight. Normal cholesterol makes up 25% of a normal brain and spinal cord. You start getting deficiencies of cholesterol, you get Alzheimer's disease, you get MS, multiple sclerosis, and you get, let's see here, what is it? You get Guillain-Barré syndrome, okay? And these are all caused by cholesterol deficiency. They're all created by doctors.
All right. So folks, yes, there is bad cholesterol. Yes, we do want to limit that bad cholesterol. And that's pretty simple. You eliminate the bottled oils, you eliminate the fried foods.
Now, let's see here. Miss Rebecca,
Yes,
is there good air?
there is.
Is there bad air?
There is.
Do you want to only go on bad air?
No.
No, of course not. Well, the same thing is true with the cholesterol. You want to make sure most of the cholesterol you're taking in is the good stuff. And so just like when it comes to water and air and stuff like that, you need to do the same thing also with all your nutrients, including cholesterol. Make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Okay.
Dr. Wallach, we're at the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and take a quick 5 minutes and get up and stretch. Make sure you fill your cup. If you have the plant-derived minerals, put a splash of plant-derived minerals in there, whether it's strawberry, kiwi mints, the cherry mints, the plain plant-derived minerals, or we have the sticks, the mineral STX, which is 600 milligrams of our plant-derived minerals in a powder, plus cherry juice extract and collagen. It's absolutely fabulous. A perfect mix to your water to help increase what the body needs to, well, what it's missing most is the plant-derived minerals. And then the collagen to help support all the connective tissue. And if you're not familiar with what connective tissue is, that includes our skin, our gums, our arteries, our vessels, our tendons, our muscles, our ligaments, our not the vertebrae, but the discs between the vertebrae. All of that is part of connective tissue, including our muscles. So why not give your body something extra special in supporting what is keeping us all together, keeping everything flowing and strong? We will be right back after this brief little break on Ask.Live. And I am back here on Ask.Live. Thank you so much for sticking around with us during this 2 hours of information that our hope is that you utilize for yourself, your family, and your community. Now, if you are watching today and something that has been mentioned is something that you or somebody you know is experiencing, we have this replay and all of the replays from our just over 2 years of recording Ask Doc Live available on AskDocLive.com. Now that is a website that is sponsored by AskDocLive.com that is available for those who have never spoken to anybody about longevity or Dr. Wallach. If you have, get back with the person that shared this program with you. They have a vested interest and they want to see you have the best possible health available. So get back with them. Tell them that you watched the program. Tell them what you liked best about the program, or ask them, okay, what is it that I need? Here's what I've got going on. So we just want to make sure that everybody is getting the information that they need, and the person that shared this program gets the credit for it. Because with this business, as I mentioned earlier, Dr. Wallach created a company. The company's name is Longevity. He decided that it was best served to have this as a direct sales company, a company where people are sharing their stories with other people, because the product sitting on the shelf, folks, it's not going to tell you a story. When you go to the store, what do you look for? Usually it's the brightest thing on the shelf that catches your eye, or a commercial that you heard on or saw on TV. Well, with longevity, feeling the difference is powerful. And the things that are on the shelf at the corner store, they're not going to give you the same feeling. So we invite you to feel the difference with the products that Longevity offers. Again, if you are on with us live, go to that Zoom menu, find the reactions, and raise your hand. We would love to have you come on live with us, with or without camera, and ask your questions of Dr. Wallach. Now, Dr. Wallach, I have several people that are writing in with questions as well. So I want to make sure that we get those questions, or some of those questions. I don't know if we can ever get all of them answered, especially not on a year's worth of show. But Barry is writing in, Dr. Wallach. And Barry says, I had a mild case of COPD resulting from exposure to various toxins from work and home for many years. Last August in 2021, I was exposed to the local virus. And since then, his inhalers have done very little in managing his lung condition. Aside from, and he mentioned an herbal tea and some liquid drops, he has seen and read that these things address the issue, but he is not feeling the results he wants to feel. So, Dr. Wallach, let's say Barry is 6 foot, 200 pounds, 50 years old. What would you recommend to assist Barry in getting better lung function?
Okay.
And
So
allow him to
COPD,
breathe better.
chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So obviously that's the main thing that's bothering him. And basically, COPD is due to, and it's chronic, this is due to deficiencies of nutrients, okay? The pulmonary system, the lungs and trachea and bronchi and alveoli and all that kind of stuff requires an enormous amount of nutrition, okay? And then, of course, they have the all kinds of coughing diseases and this, that, and the other that have to do with lung disease and skin disease and bowel disease. And if they have irritable bowel syndrome and so forth, IBS. And so I'd like to know about that stuff if he had them, because they're all kind of connected. But at any rate, at 200 pounds, he's getting rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones got to go. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month of full dose, everything twice a day, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. Then he needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone rakes, and bone cell. Then he needs the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with the morning drink, scoop of that with the evening drink. I want him also to have our Oxybody, okay? Take 200 pounds of them, take an ounce of that twice a day. It's our plant mineral, liquid plant minerals with oxygen added to it, Oxybody, okay? 2 quarts a month, take an ounce of breakfast, ounce of dinner. It's an oxygen support with the plant minerals. Then he needs vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. And that's 2 bottles a month, so you can absorb the minerals and put them in to every place they belong, all right? And then give us a call, in a week or 2 and let us know what's going on. Wouldn't hurt from him also to have 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, so you get the cholesterol, so the brain part is working properly. But a lot of times, again, COPD can be due to a squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve by osteoporosis of the skull, okay? And so that's a possibility of being involved, okay? Osteoporosis of the skull, okay? And he's 50 years old, so he's right in that age group that has a lot of this kind of stuff. So give us a call and start on the program that we outlined for him, and then we'll walk him through this. This is something we do with a lot, and we should be able to help him get rid of this really, really quickly. Also, let's see here, the book, It's All in Your Head. That's the second disease we list on the cover here, COPD. Okay, because again, if the skull is squeezing the nerves, okay, there you go. They're squeezing the nerves to control. Don't forget, the CD that goes along with it, same title. Absolutely. They make a great set. You get a discount if you buy them both together. And I would get that set. It's All in Your Head, the book and the CD. And again, the formula of what to do is in that book and in the CD. And so if you didn't get it written down here, it's in the book and the CD. Okay, but this is very common and easily dealt with.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Let's go to our next hand that is up, and HF. Not sure what HF stands for, but go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, doctor. What is the difference? I heard you talk about the hair, skin, and nails tablets, and I have a customer who wants to know the difference between that and the collagen peptide that would hair, skin, and nails collagen.
Okay, there's similar type of collagen peptides in the hair, skin, and nails as there is in the collagen peptides. But the hair, skin, and nails has also other nutrients that are necessary for hair follicles and skin and so forth, whereas the collagen peptides is ground up cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. Okay. The hair, skin, and nails does have some collagen in there. Okay.
So thank you, Doc.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, thank you for a great question. Next, let's go to another email, Dr. Wallach, that has come in. And the question is, my son's girlfriend of 35, who is 35 years old, gets migraine headaches. So she's 35, says she's 145 pounds at 5'3". What can she take for this? Now, I know migraines way too well. And I'm so thankful, Dr. Wallach, that since I found you 7 years ago, I have had maybe 3 headaches and not even close to a migraine that I lived with since I was 8 years old. So Dr. Wallach,
Okay.
share with us what you would recommend for migraines.
Okay. Well, one of the things that gives you migraine headaches is trigeminal neuralgia. It's the 5th cranial nerve being squeezed. You get these migraine headaches behind the eyes and the temples and the forehead and so forth. They're called migraines, but they're really the skull squeezing the 5th cranial nerve, the trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal neuralgia it's called, but it can also be called migraine headaches. So got to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bread, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And let's see here. The body weight was
145.
145. Okay, I didn't get that. Okay, 145. Okay, good. 35 years old, 5'3". All right. And so again, I'd have her get that. It's all in your head, the book and the CD. And of course, the formula's in there, but basically at 145 pounds, she's right on that cusp. I'd have her take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose everything twice a day. I'm going to have the MSM 2 bottles a month. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And then she needs the collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that at breakfast drink, scoop of that at evening drink. Vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. And it wouldn't hurt to also throw in the synaptive. I'd throw in 3 synaptive twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. So the brain cells can make the chemicals necessary to talk to their neighbor brain cells. And that'll reduce a lot of that discomfort. So give us a call every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And we're going to just go on to another question that has come in.
Okay.
I love the fact that we do get the opportunity to do this. We did that one already. Okay, so I was just diagnosed with extreme anemia. So this is coming in from Diane with a hiatal hernia and ulcers. Help. I'm a female, 71 years old. I've always been in good health, walked my dogs 3 to 7 miles a day. That stopped about a year ago. And then about 3 months ago, I began to feel exhausted. From feeling good to feeling exhausted, I'm now taking some extra iron and chlorophyll. What else should I be doing?
Okay, well, her thinking is correct, okay? But let's see here. And let's see here. She weighs...
She doesn't give her weight, but let's say she's 5'6" and 135 pounds.
Okay, kind of an average lady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So I want her to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet one's got to go. And then she's right on that cusp, and because she has things going on, now when doctors think she has an ulcer because she has pain in her stomach, okay, that could be called gastroparesis. It's also a squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, by the skull when you have osteoporosis of the skull. And we don't know how many times she gets up at night to urinate. We don't know a lot of things. We need to ask her, but we'll assume that she has some osteoporosis all over her body, including her skull. at age 71, lady, and she's anemic. Okay, so the two of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs a month, the full dose thing twice a day, 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time, okay, and 3 at lunchtime. She also needs the, excuse me, that's the MSM, and then she also needs the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with her morning drink, a scoop of their evening drink. Now they make platelets, they help you make red blood cells, they help you make white blood cells and so forth. And so it's very, very important for somebody with chronic anemia. And then she also needs the vitamin D3 so she can absorb minerals and put them in all the right places. Take 2 bottles a month of our vitamin D3, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. I also want her to take, again, the Synaptive, take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month, because I think she, with all the things she's got going on here, she may have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, which causes terrible pain in the stomach called gastroparesis. Okay. And of course, you can get a hold of that book and the CD. It's all in your head. And then give us a call every couple of weeks. You know, bring us up to date on all of her questions and so forth. And she can go to a pharmacy and say, "Hey, how do I find out if I'm anemic?" And they'll give her a little chart and so forth. They may even stick her finger for her. You don't need a prescription to get somebody in a pharmacy to stick you in the finger and test your blood cells and see if you're anemic. Okay, so you kind of pay attention to those details and then call us every week or two and bring us up to date, and we'll walk you through this.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. Now, Ginny has a question, and this is in regards to the rebound. She says, "I know that carbonation is bad for you." And Dr. Wallach says, popping the top on the rebound to get rid of the carbonation. She wants to know, why did they put the carbonation in there in the first place?
Okay, because the people who make those kind of canned drinks put carbonation in there. That if they'd asked me, I'd have said no, but they didn't ask me. They just made it.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And let's see. Again, folks, if you've got a question, don't forget, raise your hand. We want to make sure that we get all of the questions answered, especially from the people that are here live with us. And if it's not for you, and it's even for somebody that you care about and love, and you've got information about them, then go ahead. Let's get some information that'll help you in helping them find answers and solutions, because we do have solutions. So, Dr. Wallach, I'm so excited because we have something new coming up. And this is something that's been asked for by many pet owners. Is I get questions coming in wanting to know about pets, and people are more willing to spend the money to take care of their pets than they are for themselves sometimes. So on the first Friday of the month on Ask Doc Live, it's actually going to be Ask Vet Live. And guess who that features? That's right. Because for those of you who don't know, Dr. Wallach is a world-renowned vet who has done research around the world. Thank you, Ruth Ellen. And I mean, over 30,000 autopsies, a lot of them, yes, were animals, but you took that information from all of these autopsies and put them together and did comparisons. And I mean, you've got deficiencies, you've got disease, whether you're a dog or a human, right?
Yeah, I'm not the first person to research nutritional deficiencies in animals before they studied them in humans. I mean, that goes, all these laboratories and white rats and rabbits and hamsters and guinea pigs and all that kind of stuff. And so what I did was really nothing new, except that most of the animals that I did autopsies on were zoo animals. Okay, we're 454 species. And so my knowledge is a little bit broader than rats.
A little bit broader? I think a lot broader than just working on rats. So folks, I know that there's a lot of people that have been writing in with questions, and we want to make sure that you get your pet questions answered as well. So make sure that you share this program with us. Jonty, it's going to be the same channel, right? We're going to be using the same, we're going to be using the same Zoom room. So if you've got this Zoom room saved, which if you didn't know that you could save it, you can. And you can just plug it into your calendar and say, hey, click, and you automatically can connect with us every Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I love the fact that we have that consistency, and you are by far the master of dedication and consistency, Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank
You've been
you.
able to see that firsthand over the last couple of months. I think HF has another question.
Thank you so much. I have a customer just called in and she wants to know, she has lost a lot of weight and lots of muscle mass, and what can she do to build up her muscle, to build up muscle mass?
Okay. She has no diagnosed disease, I'm assuming, but it wouldn't hurt, for her
She's
to.
dealing with some arthritic problems, which she's addressing, but I think it's the weight loss, the muscle mass she's concerned about at this time.
Okay, well, that's a symptom. Okay, so let's see here, and she weighs 100 and.
She weighs about 147 pounds, Doc.
Okay, 147 pounds. All right. Well, I from a little investigative standpoint, I'd get her to get the book Rare Earths Cures, go to chapter 1011, page 272, and do the hair analysis thing. And she'll get 2 charts. One will show her the nutritional minerals. And if they're all low, that means she's not absorbing. That means she's eating gluten, okay? Or has some other absorption problem. If some are high and some are low, there's all kinds of reasons for that, but some of them are low. That's easy to deal with since they're high. That may mean they're being pulled out of the liver, pulled out of the bones, and that kind of stuff because she's so deficient. They're being pulled out of the storage places. And so it shows up high in the hair analysis. And then there's a second chart, which shows you all the toxic metals, lead and mercury and uranium and other toxic minerals. So that's very valuable stuff. Then we want her to make sure at 147 pounds, she's right on that cusp. I'd have her take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. That's 215 nutrients, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose, everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of her MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. She needs a scoop of the collagen peptides at breakfast, a drink, and a scoop of collagen peptides in her evening drink. She needs 3 vitamin D3 capsules twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And then we've covered the joints that way. Let's see here. And to gain weight, I think she may need to eat more food, okay? She cannot just be a vegetarian, okay, and just, eat beets and carrots and tomatoes and expect to maintain and gain weight. So she does need 3 eggs twice a day to help her make hormones, as well as brain. Don't forget, the brain and spinal cord are both 25% by weight cholesterol. So she needs 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolk, soft boiled, soft yolk, soft poached, soft yolk, soft scrambled butter. And that's going to help her. But it wouldn't hurt for her also to use our Rebound, our sports drink, instead of just water, or Diet Cola or something like that. The canister has 36 servings in it, no carbonation. The box of sticks has 30 sticks in it, no carbonation. The cans have 12 cans per case, and they do have carbonation in them. And of course, a lot of people like carbonation. It's one of those things where it gives them a buzz and they like that tingle. And so that's why I'm sure they put it in there for marketing purposes. But carbonation also neutralizes stomach acid, so you cannot efficiently absorb minerals and digest food. So I take 2 of those cans of Rebound every night before I go to bed, pop the tops on them, put them in the refrigerator. So in the morning, they have off-gassed all the carbonation in them. They're flat. This is good for me. I like the taste. I don't need the buzz from the carbonation. And I'll have one with breakfast and one either during or after lunch. And so I'm getting, 100 nutrients. There's 100 nutrients, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. So the rebound is a great way to get more nutrition as well as energy. And so I kind of go that direction, but don't forget those 3 eggs twice a day. Don't forget the brain and the spinal cord are 25% by weight cholesterol. Cholesterol is an essential nutrient. Do not get on statin drugs. Do not avoid cholesterol. Do not become a vegetarian and avoid dairy and avoid meat and avoid eggs and that kind of stuff. Don't do that because you will pay a price, a negative, terrible price.
So instead of having the water, it's okay to be drinking the rebound instead of the water.
Well, you drink both. Okay, you drink, rebound 1 or 2 servings a day, and then you drink water 3 or 4 servings a day.
Okay, thank you. And Doc, what is your take on alkaline water, 8.8, which people
Okay,
tend to...
if you want to kill yourself, drink alkaline water
Okay,
because it neutralizes your stomach acid, and you cannot absorb minerals or digest food without stomach acid. So drinking alkaline water once a year may be okay, but not on a consistent basis.
thank you so much, Doc.
Hey, you bet.
Thank you, sir. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, HF, thank you so much. That's a great question that I get quite a bit, folks, about alkaline water. So you heard it from the doc. Don't drink it. Drink your mineral water, your water with your plant-derived minerals in it, or just take a shot of minerals, but make sure that you are, one, keeping yourself hydrated, but with a clean water that is natural and giving your body what it needs. So Dr. Wallach, I've got some more questions here.
Okay.
So Bill writes in and he says, I have achy, stiff knees for about the last year and a half. I've tried cortisone shots, and I think it made it worse. In May, I did 3 injections with a gel, stated that he should be better in 6 to 12 weeks, and the knees feel the same with no progress. I think the anti-inflammatory would be a good way to start. I'm reading through, he watches you on Coast to Coast. So he's giving lots of accolades and thank you for being on Coast to Coast.
Sure.
Because
Okay,
he
does
is an
he-
active list. So
okay,
he
does
is
he-
64,
Okay, there you go.
205 pounds. He is looking to lose some weight to help take some of the pressure off his knees. So
Does he say how tall he is?
he does not say how tall he is. So let's just
Oh.
say 6 foot.
Okay.
What would you recommend? That is, and I like this, not a wild goose chase, Dr. Wallach.
All right. Well, all our tissues in our body require stuff to maintain themselves because they're not static. They're not like poured concrete. Cells come, they do their job, they live and they die, and then you get new cells coming along if everything's right. Okay. And so basically, let's say at 205 pounds, he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. He cannot be a vegetarian. He cannot be drinking alcohol water. He needs to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want him to have 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks for the cholesterol. He needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And it's going to help him with that knee and all the other bones in his body because he's got a knee problem. He's got a problem in every bone in his body, including his skull. And then he also needs to take the collagen peptides and scoop of that in his morning drink and scoop of that in his evening drink. I want him to have the vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. There's 2 bottles a month. And let's see here. I would like to know about things, like, how many times a night he wakes up to urinate. I'd like to know, does he have rain in the ears? Does he have dizziness and all that other kind of stuff? People just, they may have 18 things going on with them, but they just pick one that really interferes with their life, like mobility or something like that. And they'll pick that. Give me that nutrient. Which nutrient? Well, it's not that simple. It's not a nutrient. It's a system that you have to be dealing with. And so let's start there. And then, call us every couple of weeks. It wouldn't hurt to do a hair analysis. That'll give us a really good picture of the book. Rare Herbs and Cures, chapters 10 and 11, page 272. It'll tell you how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there because the lab won't do the work without it, and it'll tell you what's going on with your essential nutrients and minerals, but also tells you about toxic minerals. And so that's very useful stuff in his, in his trail here to solve his knee problems. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. So Dr. Wallach, let's talk a little bit about kids and behavior issues. And I know that there's a lot of new people on today that have not heard your story and how nutrition can be so effective at allowing the brain to be able to operate properly. I mean, food can be toxic, especially when it includes gluten. That's like cutting off the whole absorption process of nutrients.
Well, you get an A+ because, yeah, you need to be taking in all the nutrients. You need to be able to absorb them. Got to avoid all the bad stuff that interferes with absorption, including carbonated drinks and gluten, which is very common. Okay, and of course, people wind up with all this stuff, and people want to take a nutrient or a drug. Again, it's not that simple. Just think of your car. You have gasoline, you have oil, you have grease, you have air filters, you have windshield wiper fluids, and you have rubber tires. You have, let's see here, piston rings to make sure that the system is airtight so you get maximum benefit when the spark plug sets off the gasoline into a kind of a burst there, so you don't waste the energy and so on. And so the body's the same way. And so you have to take care of each of those aspects of the body, both chemistry, physiologically, physically, to maximize health, function, and longevity. Just looking for a special aspirin that takes care of pain in the right knee isn't the answer.
That's right. And I think that the pharmaceutical industry has kind of trained us with one pill covers all. I didn't say fix. I didn't say cure. It
Yeah, well, that's why
covers
we're
up the
working. That's why we're
symptoms.
working on the what do you say, the reawakening of a book that was originally printed online. Okay, it's called The Wallach Revolution. Kind of working on that.
It was an unauthorized biography of
Uh-huh.
you.
Uh-huh.
And reading through it, they did a really good job.
Yeah, for
So
99% of the first 2/3 of it, they did a great job, but they didn't cover the last part. So that's why we're working on the last part here to add to it. And I'm very, very excited about that because it goes into, of course, all the stuff going on with muscular dystrophy and that kind of stuff. All the stuff we did with Jerry Lewis and his team and so on, all the kids we helped save. And so that was not put in there. Some of the research and some of the court battles were, but they didn't specifically relate it to Jerry Lewis and muscular dystrophy.
right. And we want to make sure that since he was such an important part in trying to present that information for what was assumed to be a legitimate company or association truly looking for a cause.
Mm-hmm.
And that story right there has really made me eerie about donating specifically to different causes. It just makes me very hesitant because are they really looking for the cure or is it something to make money?
Yeah, well, when Jerry Lewis brought them the cure, they fired him after 50 years, and he raised $2.5 billion for them over 50 years. He was probably the best known sort of health advocate in the world at that time for 50 years because of his telethons every year. And people would say, "What happened to Jerry? I mean, he didn't have his telethon this last week. You haven't heard from him. Where's Jerry?" He just sort of disappeared. Well, they fired him and cut off all his communications so he couldn't say anything to anybody. And that's how it was left back in 2011. Well, we've dug up all the information and we know exactly what went on. We know exactly what's going on. We know what's going on in the future. And so we're working on re-releasing that book and adding the Jerry Lewis story to the back end of it.
All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, let's go to another question that has come in. And Muriel is wanting to know about what they can do for type 2 diabetes with neuropathy. So she thinks that you have something that can help her because she listens to your show all
Probably
the
so.
time. She believes in what you're saying, and she's just wanting some assistance. So I don't have any specific information. So let's go for her 100 pounds. What would you recommend for somebody that is type 2 diabetic with neuropathy? And share
Okay,
with us a little bit what neuropathy is.
Okay, well, neuropathy means that you have something going on, say, in your skull, and it's causing pain in your feet. It's caused a peripheral neuropathy. You can have a neuropathy where you got a nerve causing a problem. Again, like when you're having the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed in the skull because you have osteoporosis of the skull and it's causing gastroparesis, terrible pain in your stomach. That's a neuropathy. Okay, it's not really a stomach problem. It's the nerve problem causing a stomach problem. And so that's what a neuropathy is. And usually this is not unusual. The skull is squeezing the spinal cord, you get downstream neuropathies. And that's why I always ask about how many times somebody wakes up at night to urinate. Because if a woman gets up 10 times a night to urinate, it's not her prostate gland, because women and girls don't have prostate glands. Okay, the skull is squeezing the spinal cord is telling the bladder to empty, okay, because of that pressure from the skull. And that's a neuropathy. Okay, because the main problem is not in the urinary bladder, but that's where the clinical that's where the clinical issue is. But the problem is in the skull, squeezing the spinal cord. And so that's where this book comes in. There's 37 different diseases we cover in that book and the CD. It's all in your head. And it's a set. You get a discount if you buy them both at the same time. If you buy the book today and 2 weeks later you buy the CD, you don't get the discount. But if you buy them as a set, it's all in your head, both the book and the CD. You get a nice discount. So I would urge you to buy the set. At any rate, at 100, let's say here per 100 pounds of body weight, type 2 diabetes, and the odds are type 2 diabetes, people have 25 other diseases, including neuropathies, and they don't have to be directly related. Okay, you can be indirectly related. And so the diabetes may not be the cause of the neuropathy. Certainly the neuropathy is not the cause of diabetes, but you can have 20 neuropathies. You can have 15 other diseases all at the same time. Okay, so
But
here we
it's very
go.
common that they call it diabetic neuropathy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's because they kind of run together, but diabetes is a deficiency of either 1 or 2 nutrients. And if you're deficient in 1 or 2 nutrients, what's the odds you're deficient in another one or another one, another? Okay, so that's why they kind of run together. And so when you look at people say, oh yeah, I've got high blood pressure, I got diabetes, I got arthritis, and I've got cirrhosis of the liver, I've got COPD, all my teeth are gone, I got implants, and this person's got all these different problems. And the doctor says, well, you're 70 years old, you got to expect this. No, these are all nutritional deficiency diseases, okay? And that doctor needs to go back to school. Well, it's a nice way of saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay.
Well, I definitely think that the whole training and schooling for medical doctors is missing a major subject.
Yeah, they need to be reevaluated and reschooled and all that kind of stuff.
And maybe a little more on the nutrition side of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm implying.
Yeah. So I have another question here, Dr. Wallach, and this is one that many people have heard. And if you've been paying attention, you've already received the answer to it. But we want to make sure that people are very clear. The question is, can you explain to me why gluten is bad for our health.
Okay. Well, gluten is a substance that's found in wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And gluten is very toxic, okay? And it kills the villi, the little finger-like projections in your small intestine. When you cut open a small intestine during surgery or an autopsy, the lining of the small intestine looks like a shag rug. It has all these finger-like villi in there, which increases the surface area of the intestine by like 95%. When you eat gluten over a period of 6 months or so, those villi all go away, and now your intestinal lining, instead of looking like a shag rug, looks like a plastic tube. You lost 98% of the absorptive surface. The only people who are not sensitive to gluten are dead people. There are no people that are designed to be able to safely consume gluten. Okay? And so when you look at cultures that eat a lot of gluten, and we're talking about Italians, these spaghetti and that kind of stuff. And then, of course, the Germans eat a lot of pancakes and waffles. And then, of course, you get people who eat a lot of bread and so forth. Then people eat oatmeal for breakfast every morning. They drink beer made from wheat. They drink whiskey made from barley. These are all gluten things. And that's why people, when they start hitting 50, they start getting problems. And then they go to the doctor and they're put on 14 different prescriptions and they do 2 surgeries. And then they say, okay, you got to go into a nursing home because there's nothing more we can do for you. You need some help to get you through the day. And then they die after 2 to 4 years in a nursing home at age 60. Okay, when they should live to be 110 at least. Okay, so if you're prepared to give up anywhere from a third to a half your life, just keep doing all the bad stuff. Eat all the gluten you want. Okay, the guy who sells the coffins will be very happy.
Well, I myself, when I go, I want to go looking as good as absolutely possible, as fast as possible, but I'm not going laying down. I'm going to
No,
fight
there's no
all the
reason
way,
why.
Dr. Wallach.
There's no reason why everybody can't live well beyond 100. Okay, and that's why we came out with the book Immortality. We took 5 years and went around the world and looked at the long-lived cultures and saw the things that they proactively did. We saw the things they proactively avoided and what their common threads were between these cultures. We did that for 5 years and put it in the book Immortality. So that's one of the books that everybody at least in their middle age needs to read, Immortality, because it's going to really add 25 to 50 healthy years of your life. And you get to spend 25 to 50 more years with people you love. You get to spend 25 to 50 more years doing the things you love to do. And you save an enormous amount of money. You eliminate an enormous amount of unnecessary pain. Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. I used to have insurance and paid a lot of money every month for that insurance, to have that insurance. And I was getting sicker and sicker. I even went to see the doctor. I didn't just have the insurance. And since I stopped with the insurance, started taking more control over my own health, investing in the supplementation that has now become my health insurance, I feel better now over 50 than I did when I was in my 20s. And supposed to be, living and loving life. Well, I didn't. It's hard to love life when you hurt so bad. So I'm thankful for now I have my health.
And you look like you're 30.
Well, and Nancy is asking to see that slide that shows the difference between the good villi and the bad villi. And I'm going to see if I can do this seamlessly because
if you can pop it up. Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
Let me. Okay, so I don't know why it's not letting me pick just that program. Jonty, are you able to grab that slide?
Trying to see if I can find it. Might need a second though, because it's a little buried.
Yeah, let's go ahead, and while you're looking for that, thank you so much. Let's go to John, who has his hand up. John, you are on live with Dr. Wallach. Go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Top of the morning, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
So good to see you. I came on to celebrate you.
Oh, thank you.
Wanted to let you know my progress. Okay, I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago and we discussed my hip. And you told me, you said, don't concentrate so much on the one thing. Look look into yourself and see all your problems and be aware of all of them and how they will change. I wanted to let you know the hip has gotten better. Just a very slight amount of pain, just to let me know it's there. I spent the last 3 days out. I'm out in Missouri, so the lawns here are kind of large. So I spent 3 days on the lawn just to see where my hip was at, and it's doing quite well. Also wanted to let you know that I had an injury, automobile injury on my neck in '83, and they told me that I would be having issues with that, and I'd feel the grinding of the neck as I would rotate my head. Let you know I've got more movement, and I don't hear any of that noise. Also, when I was a teenager, I did scuba diving, but I couldn't do it because I'd get down to 90 feet and I would get ear squeeze, being where the eustachian tube would block. And I'm noticing now that I'm getting an opening in the eustachian tubes because I can feel the motion of the bones, so to speak. And also, anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I'm doing the optimal things.
And how old are you, John?
I'll be just turned 69. Yes, I'm 6'3", and my weight is at about 280, and it's going down. My depression levels. I had been depressed. I can see that I've got a lot more motivation, and so I know with that the weight will go down because I will get more exercise. And one thing I do know, I have a lot of loved ones that I want to help, and you can only help somebody by them seeing what you do, not by what you say. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the feedback. I appreciate that. And I'm sure everybody sort of in the middle age is hearing you and hearing the wonderful improvements you've gotten. So thank you for sharing. God bless you, sir.
Well, I will be getting back with you as things progress. I really appreciate it. I
call
want to
us every
show you all
couple
the
of
good
weeks.
work.
Thank you, sir. Okay, well, here I can see the gluten things here on the left.
I just want to thank John for coming on and sharing, Doc.
Yeah, isn't that good?
And celebrating you, because that's...
Doc, about every 2 weeks, I'm going to celebrate you.
Please call every 2 weeks. That'd be wonderful.
Okay, thank you so much. You have a great day.
God bless you, sir. You bet.
All right, here it is, Doc. Healthy villi, modest damage, and severe damage. Share with us a little bit. Go through each slide.
Okay, well, on the left, let's see, very healthy villi. Again, it looks like finger-like projections, like a shag rug. Moderate damage. The villi are thicker. They're closer together. There's some connective tissue at their base. Okay, some scar tissue. And then when you look on the right-hand side, the villi are just about all gone. There's not much in the way of villi there. It just looks like a sheet of connective tissue. And so the percentage of absorption on the extreme right-hand side is probably about 2% of what you get on the left-hand side with all that surface area and blood vessel exposure.
So does everybody see that space, that white space in between
the villi?
The villi looks like fingers.
Yeah, look like fingers. Yep.
Yeah. And then compare that to severe damage where all you have is that top surface that that's being exposed for the nutrients to try to break through and absorb. See how dense that is? Think of a sponge. When a sponge is full, is it able to take much more? And then with the healthy villi, it's like it's open, it's ready, it's wanting to absorb the nutrition.
Well, the good thing here is if you get off of gluten and take your 90, within anywhere from 30 to 60 days, the right-hand side will look like the middle. Another 30 to 60 days, the middle will look like the left-hand side. Okay, it usually takes anywhere from 2 to 6 months to get maximum benefit back to normal anatomy. Okay, depending on how severe the damage was and how long you had severe damage. Okay, and so I really, what should I say? I'm unhappy with the medical system because they really don't talk about gluten as much as they should. They never talk about that. Oh, just eat whole grains. Well, that's bad advice. Okay, I like to say eat like an Asian, eat rice and sweet potatoes and vegetables like an Asian. Do not eat wheat, barley, rye, or oats. Now, there are some areas in China and some areas in Japan where they do eat wheat, and they have problems like Europeans have, okay, compared with their Oriental buddies who don't eat wheat, okay, or eat oatmeal or oats or rye or barley. Those things are very bad. And of course, back in the Bible days, 3,500 years ago, and when people would, live to be 35, 40, 50 years of age, they thought that was a good thing. And when somebody would live to be 100, oh my gosh, they were one of the saints. But it's one of those things, it was all had to do with diet. Had to do with diet. And of course, when you're eating the bad foods, fried foods, processed meats, oils, and glutens, wheat, brown, rye, oats, and sugar, and carbonation, is bad, very bad. But you can heal. That's, the good Lord made us in such a way that we have the capacity to heal. When you heal and you go back from slide number 3 on the right to all the way to the left, slide number 1, suddenly now people say, man, I really got some energy. I don't get sleepy like I used to every hour. I want to fall asleep every hour. Now I don't do that. I can work all day. I am so full of energy and healthy. I just love it. Well, the same thing's going on in your brain, in your heart, in your lungs, in your liver, in your muscles, in your bones. And of course, it's very impactful in your intestines because that's where you absorb your nutrition.
Yes, for sure. So thank you so much for taking the time and sharing with us about gluten, why gluten is so bad for us. So I hope that gave everybody a little clearer idea on the importance of removing gluten from your diet. If you want optimal health, if you want optimal absorption from the nutrients that you're taking, and even just the breakdown of the food that you're eating so that you have the ability to absorb any minerals that might be in the food.
Or supplemented.
Or supplemented. So, I mean, we know that the food does not have it, Doc. So, for those of us who have,
But if you're supplementing and eating gluten, are you going to get maximum benefit? Of course not.
no, you're not going to get maximum benefit. And I've had people say, because I didn't know in the beginning that I had to be gluten-free. And I did get some results. But when I went gluten-free, my progress skyrocketed. So think about that. You're spending the money, you're investing the money into your own health. Don't you want it to give you maximum benefit?
There you go. Yeah, that's why you get an A+.
Well, let's go over to Julia, who has her hand up.
Yeah, we got
Julia,
time for one more.
Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, Julia. Can we help you?
I think she might be trying. Let's send her another request to unmute.
Hi.
There we go.
There
Can
she
you hear
is.
me? Yes,
Yes.
I'm a 50-year-old, have arthritis and 4 discs in my neck. And now my newest issue is vertigo.
Okay. Do you have any ringing in your ears? Any tinnitus?
Nope,
Okay. How many times a night you wake up to go urinate?
probably about 3.
Okay. All right. You have the classical symptoms of osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. The squeezing, the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. That's why that's happening. And then you're going to have pain in all your joints and all this, that, and the other. Do you have any, let's see here. Do you have anything like Bell's palsy or trigeminal neuralgia?
No,
Okay. Do you have any irritable bowel syndrome? Anything like that?
nope,
Did you have your appendix out when you were a kid?
nope.
Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is get rid of all the bad foods. Again, no fried foods. That means no air frying, no deep frying, no pan frying, no oils. Absolutely no, let's see here, no gluten, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no processed meats of any kind because of all the chemicals. Absolutely, absolutely none of the, let's see here, none of the gluten, as I said, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats, and then absolutely no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then let's just say, how much you weigh? 150 pounds, you said?
No, I just lost 6 pounds. I'm on this quest to lose weight. I weigh 202 right now. And I
Okay,
am on your
202.
supplements, by the way. I just started your supplements.
Okay, good. 202. All right. So at 202, I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. And this is also for the rest of our listening audience. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day, 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to help you with joints and vertebrae in your neck and your back and so forth, and all the disc between the vertebrae and all the connective tissue, even the valves in your heart and so forth. And then I want you to get rid of all the carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go because they neutralize stomach acids, so you cannot efficiently absorb minerals and digest food. And then let's see here. I do want you to take 3 of our vitamin D3 capsules twice a day. There's 2 bottles a month. I want you to take our collagen peptides, a scoop of that in a morning drink, scoop of that evening drink. And let's see here. You can go ahead and use our sports drink, Rebound. Don't forget, if you're going to drink the cans, you got to pop the tops on them in the evening, put them in the refrigerator, and drink them in the morning after they've off-gassed all their carbonation at night into the refrigerator. Or if you want something right away, you can use our Rebound in the canister. It has 36 servings in it, and just take a scoop of that powder and put it in some water. Okay. Or you can use the sticks. There's 30 sticks in a box. Okay. No carbonation there. And you'll be amazed at how well you do. Okay. The vertigo will go away. And I do want you to get a hold of the book and the CD. It's all in your head. Because the vertigo is usually osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the, let's see here, squeezing the vestibular branch of the 8th cranial nerve, but also, okay, you have 3, you wake up at night 3 times to urinate. Again, your skull is squeezing the spinal cord, which is telling your bladder to urinate. And so you're going to get all this detail in this book and the CD. It's all in your head. Both have the same title. If you buy them together, you get a discount. If you buy them a week apart, you don't get the discount. Okay.
Okay, got it. And I also take, Dr. Wallach, I also take Ultimate Gluco Gel.
Okay, good. Well, glucogel is collagen from beef, and you can take 3 or 5 of those twice a day. I do that. I take 3 or 5 twice a day, depending on my schedule, in addition to the collagen peptides, in addition to the MSM. And that was our first specialty pack, was the Healthy Bone and Joint pack we did for Theo Ratliff. And we came up with a glucogel, which was collagen from beef. And we still have it because people love it. And so, yes, you can absolutely, it's very good.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hey, you bet. Keep in touch. Call us every couple of weeks. It's toll free. And people want to hear, okay, how Julia's doing. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Julia and Dr. Wallach. On behalf of myself, and if I can find my co-hosts here, we just want to thank you for joining us. And
Well, thank you for having me.
being here. There. Now I can find him.
There you
Thank
go.
you, John.
Thank you for all the help.
Yes. If it wasn't for Jaunty, folks, we might not be here. So thanks to Doc for creating this whole subject that we're able to share. Thanks to Jaunty for all his technical guru.
Oh, yeah, we found the what do you call it?
the
Gluten.
slide.
Yeah, we found the gluten slides.
Yes. And he came up with a better slide than I was thinking of. So
Wow.
bravo.
That was from the Somebody Needs to Go to Jail video you did a couple of years back, Doc, when you
Okay.
came out to KSCO.
Good.
Yeah. And thanks for Dr. Judy for keeping an eye on the room, and Ruth Ellen for entering all that valuable information into the chat that allows you to be able to see how things are spelled and use that as a resource. So until next time, folks, my name is Becca Dukes Kozak. You have been watching Ask Doc Live, that is sponsored by AskDocLive.com. But again, if you were invited to watch this program by anybody specific, get back with the person that shared this program with you. If you want to watch this program again, go to AskDocLive.com. You will find a link to all of our videos that we have done since we started this program. You will also find a link to Dr. Wallach's books there on AskDocLive.com. And what else will they find there? Oh, if you have never spoken to somebody about longevity and you want to order some products, there is a store there that will allow you to do that. And there is Contact Us if you'd like to speak with somebody to know exactly what you need to take for the best outcome. We have a team of certified holistic health coaches available. Again, they're for the people that have never spoken to anybody about longevity. We want to make sure that you get back with the person and thank them for sharing this information with you. And chances are they have their own way of ordering product. So make sure that you get back with them. On behalf of the Ask Doc Live crew and Dr. Wallach, thank you for joining us one more time. Bye for
Bye-bye.
now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Mwah.
Love you, Doc.